Test, test, check, check. We are back live on Kittch, ready to rock and roll. We've got a lot of awesome programming coming up here. It's good to see everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I am Montana Max, and we're coming to you from my home kitchen in the Ozark Mountains, along with everyone's favorite. Are you ready to go?
Of course.
She's ready to go. Kansas City Jen, of course, with me, my partner in life, love, and food. Remember, kids, you're on Kittch, the food network for the new generation, right? And that means you've got all sorts of fun ways to interact. Right over on this side of the screen here, you will see that we now have interactive chat right there. So if you're in the chat, make sure to let yourself be known. And if you want to take it to the next level, that's right, you can join us on this side, and everything's backwards. So that's why I got to keep looking over at the monitor. Join us on this side at the chef's table, where you can actually pop in, ask questions. It's first come, first serve, and feel free to hop in there, and your face smiling from wherever you are in the world will join us right on the stream here as well. Right, babe?
That's right. Should I try it?
You can try it. Show
All
them how
right.
it works. Here she goes. She's trying. There she is. That's how you join the chef's table. There's Kansas City Jen smiling and waving on the internet and also across the living room. There she is. She'll be monitoring chat as well as being the official taste tester and all that awesomeness as we go along here. So what are we making today? We're doing easy, highly customizable recipes that you at home can make your own that are extremely delicious, and we're going to help you up your flavor game. And today, really, this can be done for any type of meal. Brunch would be the first and foremost, but it's so customizable. You can take this and make it a nice lunch, breakfast, dinner, anything in between. Of course, we are talking about Bagel Boats. Before we jump into that, let's do a quick run through on our cameras and show you. And I actually forgot because I had a little mic issue, so I'm going to do this live on the air right here. You see we got stove cam. Let's go ahead and pop in above there. We should be good to go. Let's flip it on over. And there we go. On the fly, making dreams come true. We have our overhead cam ready to go. All right. So you get a nice overhead perspective as well as the top of the stove, which we won't actually be using that today. But that's all right. If we need to flip over there, we can do that. Also, if you're saying that's awfully small in the corner, Montana Max, how am I supposed to see all the fun things you're doing? Well, that's all right, because right there, we can flip it over, give you that side angle. And once again, there's our bird's eye perspective on everything that we've got rocking and rolling right here. And of course, my name is Montana Max BBQ on Facebook, Instagram, all the social medias, which if you join us, if you follow us on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, you'll change the lights in our kitchen, which is super fun. Also, we do plenty of outdoor cooking, and there is proof positive. We are in the mountains in our outdoor cooking arena. We've actually have some favorable weather going on today. But we are going to be doing this recipe fully inside. But stay tuned. Make sure you follow us here on Kittch.com. And you as well will see us out there as we use all of our outdoor implements as well. We've got lots of fun, different surprises ahead for you. So thank you for joining us today. All right, there we go. Without further ado, we should jump right into this, I believe, and start getting our deliciousness rocking and rolling. Are you down for that?
Yes, let's do it.
She is down for that. You'll also notice that we have a wonderful line of sauces and seasonings, and also new on Kittch here that you will see right over there is we do have a shop tab, and we are featuring one of our seasonings here today. But don't be afraid to check out MontanaMaxBBQ.com as well to check our full array of flavors for every meal. Okay, so bagel boats. The first thing with a bagel boat that you need to have, of course, is what?
A bagel,
perhaps.
perhaps.
A bagel, perhaps. So we've got a couple bagels right here on the cutting board in front of us. And what we have to do is we have to turn these into a boat. So I've got a nice little bowl here that we're going to be using our stuff. And by the way, right, we do a lot of outdoor growing and traveling and all sorts of different fun stuff. And being that we're getting closer day by day, it may not feel like it depending on what part of the country you're in, but we're getting closer to growing season. And we have just started this year. I've got the bucket over to the side here, but isn't that adorable? We have our own composting bucket. We have started composting to enrich our soil to make sure that all of our produce and things are the very best they can be. So we're going to be not creating waste any place that we can. So we've got our compost bucket over there as well. All right. So
Montana has a quick question.
Montana is in the house. The chat is working. There we go. Jen doing her job with full force. Yes.
Is this in honor of Buff Bagel?
If Buff Bagel shows up, we will tell him that.
Yes.
And if he doesn't, we'll hop into Discord and shame him.
Oh, no. Don't do that.
All right. So let's go ahead. We've got, you want your largest, freshest, softest bagels possible for this. Okay. The thinner the bagel, the more difficult this recipe will be. So when you're on the lookout, hit your bakery section. That's where we picked these up today to find the thickest, freshest bagels that you can. All right. And we're going to go ahead. We've got the beautiful tops there and the bottoms. And I'm starting to feel like I'm going into Bill Cosby. We got the tops and the bottoms and the jello pudding pops. We've got those split up there. I got Jen laughing. We're off to a good start. All right. So there's a variety of ways you can do this. I'm going to be using a melon baller. I found that works best for me. We're going to avoid using a sharp knife because we don't want to poke a hole, right, in the bottom of our bagels. So we want to keep the bagel intact here, and we're going to use a melon baller, okay? You could use potentially like a grapefruit spoon if you have, a lot of people have those laying around in their drawers, not just for grapefruit anymore, now also for bagel boats. And what we're going to do is we're not going to just start digging, okay? We're going to go ahead and we're just kind of going to take the edge of this, which is a nice thin edge, right? And we're just going to go around the edge here, leaving about 1/4 inch in scoring the bagel around, being careful not to get in the inside, to cut the outside, all right? And the outside of this is going to be the much easier one to do because of the exterior of the bagel. Let's flip this over actually and show you. There we go. That'll give you a little bit better perspective on what I'm doing, as long as I don't get my large, speaking of melons, melon baller, my large melon in the frame of view here. So I'm going to try to keep my head upright. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing very gently around the inside of the bagel, leaving a little bit extra room there. Okay. And just kind of guiding us, right? So then what we're going to do, now that we've got that scored, is we're just going to get our fingers in there and gently remove, just like this, the interior of the bagel, thusly creating said boat, okay? Now, if you do cut into the center or the edge of the bagel, don't panic. It's not the end of the world, okay? It's not the end of the world. It's still going to be delicious. It will happen even to the best of us. And being that we're live on Kittch here, there's a high probability that it could happen to us today. So
Don't do it. Don't do it.
don't do it. Well, things happen. I just did right there. I actually pulled the center out. That's all right. So we've got extra bagels. Now what we're going to do is, now that we've got that center removed, okay, and I actually may be able to save this one. And that's what we're going to do, is we're actually going to push down the interior and the exterior of the bagel to create the boat. And now we can pinch that back together, almost treating it as you would a fresh dough, okay? So there we go. We're just going to do that. And there we have a nice, lovely boat for all of our ingredients that will be coming up here, okay?
Can you raise that up closer to the camera?
You raise me up like a bagel boat.
Much better. Thank you.
You are welcome. So there we go. And if it spills a little bit, like I said, that's not going to be a big deal either, right? No one's scoring you at home on presentation points. I'm just going to go ahead using a nonstick pan, all right? You may want to spray your pan just to be on the safe side if you do have any spilling, but most nonstick should be just fine. But, you know, we like to always have a little extra insurance, if you will, when we are creating, okay? So let's go ahead. I'm going to try to move as quickly as possible here. And just taking the edge of that melon baller and working our way around, and thusly on the inside too. Remember, we're not trying to cut. We're not trying to dig. We're just trying to score it. We're going to use our fingers to do the meat of the work here, as we are. See how nicely that comes out just by lightly scoring it. That's why you want a nice, thick, soft bagel, okay? Once again, this is a highly customizable recipe, right? Today we're going to be using eggs, red bell pepper, beautiful grape tomatoes, some parsley, Italian seasonings, pesto. If you wanted to add sausage, or, you know, do a pizza version, by all means, we always encourage people to play with their food. Now this one is a work of art that I've got going here. I'm quite tickled with myself. Once again, pressing down. Now, also, by pressing down, we're not only creating a little extra room here for our ingredients, but we're also helping with the absorption factor when we add our eggs to the interior here. Your egg mixture, which we'll get into here in just a moment, will soak into the bread. This will help keep more of that egg mixture actually in the boat, okay? A little absorption, not bad. We don't want your entire bagel to soak up with the egg. And if it does, that's all right too. Once again, still going to be delicious, right?
Looking good.
That's about darn near perfect. We'll raise you up when we do a bagel boat. Max Groban, ladies and gentlemen, here. 7, 9 o'clock. Remember, the shows are completely different. And tip your wait staff. Let's go ahead and move on to our next one. So we cut through, scoring around the bagel. And that's, once again, the insurance factor using something like a melon baller versus a sharp blade, right? This is not going to penetrate through the bottom of said bagel, okay?
And we use plain bagels, but you could also use like everything bagels or garlic bagels or whatever, probably a savory one.
Any kind of bagel you like, right?
Yes, as long as it's a larger size. Don't go. A lot of those bagels in the bread aisle are very small, too small, I think, to work with for something like
yes,
this.
And if you use a small bagel and replicate what we're doing today, you'll notice that you're going to overfill your stuff very easily. So this is designed with the measurements that we have in place today, if you're taking notes at home, for a decent sized bagel, okay? There we go. Press it down, press it around. Just like that. Just like that. One more to go. Let's bust it out here. Now, the bagel guts, the bagel interior, right? Easily thrown in your compost, right? You can compost that. Also, though, if you want to use it, right? We're doing this for brunch and you're like, you know what? We're going to have some pasta for dinner. Very easy to turn these into croutons as well for your salad later in the day. So there's a little tip for waste not, want not.
Or bread pudding.
Or bread pudding. You got a hankering for some bread pudding?
Maybe.
Maybe, she says. So anyways, lots of purposes. But yeah, you can throw those bread crumbs on with a little olive oil and your favorite seasoning and make some croutons very easily to do
Yeah,
that
we
as
do
well.
that all the time, and it's delicious.
It is. It's super delicious.
Way better than those like extra hard ones you
The
get
ones
out of
that
the
scrape
bag.
the interior of your mouth.
Yeah, break your teeth.
That's a hard crouton.
Mm-hmm.
Now, make sure you're following us on our Instagram as well, where we're announcing all the times. If you're as well as here on Kittch, we're going to be back tomorrow with another fantastic recipe at 12 noon Central Standard Time. But our times do bounce around a little bit as we go. We got a lot of content coming up this month, so I hope you'll join us. And make sure too, right? If you noticed when you came in or saw our stream page, right? There's a Save My Spot button, okay?
Yeah.
And that Save My Spot button is super awesome. You just have to click it, and then Kittch, lovely enough, will send you a little email reminder that'll be like, hey, Montana Max is coming back online. Come join the stream. And you're like, oh, I almost forgot about that. So make sure to use that Save My Spot function, right? That's a handy little feature so make sure you don't miss out on any deliciousness. There we go. Last one done. Absolutely perfect. I love it. And how easy is that to bust through that? Somebody's clapping. Somebody is happy. We're making a bagel boat. All right, I'm just going to get these crumbs off the cutting board. There we go. Applause, applause. Jen, cue the pyrotechnics.
No.
We don't have the pyrotechnics for the show yet, but one day. All right, so our bagels
Never.
are ready to go here. I highly advise putting them on a pan before you add ingredients in. I'm going to save this bread over here for some little crouton action later, and we're going to start rocking and rolling. Now, big advocate of making sure everything's prepped up and ready to go ahead of time, right? So let's go ahead and grab out our chef's knife here, and let's get a little prepping. Let's get a little repping done so we can get everything ready to go. You're going to need 2 bowls, 2 singular sensations. How can it be 2 in a singular sensation? Only here on Montana Max Barbecue TV. Jen shaking her head. All right, we've got red bell pepper here. You can use green bell, any sort of bell. And once again, I'm going to pop the lid off our compost because this is perfect for composting. There we go. I actually have a place for that. We're going to take out those seeds and drop that right in our compost container. There we go. We want all that ribbing. We want the stem, of course, and all the seeds removed. And we're going to get that back on the cutting board. And we are just going to go ahead and press that down. Take our knife, get that ribbing right out of there. How easy is that? We don't want any ribbing. And this is going to be a lovely color component and a lovely texture component that we've got going on here, okay? So once again, let's square that off there and let's dice away. Making quick work of this. And we're going to throw all of these ingredients, the next 3 things that we're doing, in a bowl, okay? So then we're going to square that up once again, come back over the top, allowing the knife to do the work, and we are going to slice and dice those down into nice, consistent, even pieces. Pulling the blade towards us. Let's go ahead and get that real quick. Scoop it up into the bowl. Absolutely wonderful. On to the next ingredient here is we've got some lovely grape tomatoes. So that's about a quarter of, to do 4 bagel halves or 2 bagels, only needed about a quarter of a bell pepper there. We've got 5 beautiful grape tomatoes here, which we are going to give the same treatment to. Slice down, same sizes, right? It's all about consistency, especially when we're dealing with a bagel boat or any sort of cuisine. Really, we want every single bite from the first to the last to be as delicious is when we started, okay? So we got that rocking and rolling. We're making quick work of that. Slice. Nice sharp knife, rocking and rolling, okay? Now, Jen, you'll have to remind me here. What are we actually making tomorrow if we got people interested in what's coming up on the schedule here? Do you have that at top of mind? I know I'm putting you a little bit on the spot.
Yes, we're doing our smothered sun-dried tomato creamy chicken.
Oh, that sounds good. Why can't we have that now? Oh, yeah. Bagel Boats.
Bagel Boats are going to be amazing too.
It's all going to be amazing.
Totally different.
And all easy recipes coming up. So that's on the docket for tomorrow.
And then
go ahead.
Wednesday, we're going to do a tomato bacon cheese toast kind of sandwich kind of thing.
TBC, taking care of business. Beautiful Italian flat leaf parsley here. We're going to take our blade and we are going to go ahead and remove the leaves from the stems as best as possible there. And I'll just throw that into the compost. How nice is that? New thing we're doing here, composting for 2023. You will have a little bit of stem in here. That's going to be fine. I'm going to bundle this up. Okay. We're just going to bundle that up into a nice little package there. And I'm going to come right over the top here. And this is kind of a rustic deal. You don't have to spend hours and hours. And we're going to rock that blade, keeping our fingers out of the way, of course. And get that all cut down there. We'll save a couple little leaves there, right? And we'll come back over the top. I'm going to save a little bit just for garnish at the end, right? Just a little bit. You don't have to garnish them at the end. One of my favorite things about cooking, I love to garnish. I don't know why. It just makes me feel good. But we're going to use a majority of this, 3/4, just a little pinch for garnish at the end. I'm going to go ahead, take that, and throw that back on there. There we go. Clear that cutting board, clear our knife. And we now have our main ingredients. Let's flip it back over. There we go, up above. Look at all that beautiful color there, right? We got that beautiful color. And we'll just grab a little spoon or a fork out of your drawer and make sure we have a nice, even mixture there. How easy is that? All right. Like I said, this is all customizable. You want to throw mushrooms in there? Do mushrooms. You want to throw artichoke hearts in there? Whatever you want. You can totally make this your own recipe very easily. Let's come on back. There we go. And we're going to keep that spoon to help us dole out those beautiful ingredients into our bagel boats. Now, here we go. We've got our bowl back. Center, separate bowl, new bowl. We really love these. I'm not endorsed by KitchenAid, but I will tell you, I love these KitchenAid bowls because they have a spout on them. It's really hard to find a good bowl that has a spout built into it. So that's going to be nice. We can create and we can pour all with that. Now we've got 3 eggs ready to go here. So this is with how eggs are right now. I mean, this is a 5-star pricey dish, isn't it, babe?
Yeah.
So we've got some beautiful eggs here. We're going to go ahead. There's 1. Now, if there's anybody in the audience watching the show today, I'd love your input because we are new to composting. And so we've been researching and learning, right, all about composting. And there seems to be 2 camps out there. One camp that's like, yeah, you can recycle eggshells or compost, excuse me. And then a second camp that's like, don't do it, wouldn't be prudent. So
salmonella, that's what the other camp says.
That's what the other camp says. What's your stance? If you're a composter or have some composting knowledge, I'd love to get your take on it.
For now, we're tossing them because the salmonella thing caught my attention. I was like, I don't know. I'm not sure how that would translate into the garden, if it would actually affect the plants. I kind of don't think so, but.
Well, either way, if you're dealing with compost and spreading it, you should be probably wearing gloves.
Well, you're not supposed to compost meats or dairy.
Most animal byproducts. So that's where eggs seem to toe that line. All right, we've got 3 eggs in here, 3 eggs ready to rock and roll. Now we are going to start building layers of flavor with some wonderful seasoning, right? So let's do it. And this is the one, if you click that shop tab, it'll take you a link where you can actually purchase it. It is our Mountain Magic right here. Beautiful all-purpose seasoning. So great. Can be used in so many different cuisines. We use it as a base layer flavor for so many things. It really can sparkle on its own. There's no doubt about that, because we have people that use it just to give extra razzle dazzle. Let's get the jazz hands to their popcorn. and really shines on beef as well. It's a preferred brisket rub of many barbecuers as well. But today we're going to use it to season up our egg mixture, and so the measurement for this is to taste, and we can put a hefty amount in there. Now we're going to give it a little Italian pizzazz. I'm going to be using an Italian spice blend here, and that's what I'm saying. I'm using that Mountain Magic as our base, right? And here's the key, though, is I struggle with this cap. That's the one thing there we go. This is a straight herb blend seasoning, okay? And there's no salt, there's no pepper, there's nothing like that in this. It's just Italian herbs. So the Mountain Magic is covering all the other bases for flavor. And we are just going to go ahead and get a nice hefty herb mixture in there. There we go. And let's whisk it, okay? So we're going to get in here, tilting to the side with a little bit of a 45-degree angle. I'm learning to whisk appropriately. I used to whisk like a caveman, and Kansas City Jen was not impressed with the whisking technique. Max, whisk. Max is learning, as we all are, right? So we're going to go in here and whisk this mixture together, just like so. And thank you. Thank you for being here, joining us on Kittch.com. The food network of a new generation. I like that. It's epic. I need to get my best movie voice on for this. All right, and then we got that. Now, when it comes to seasoning, obviously, big advocate also of tasting as you go. Now, you don't want to dip a spoon in and taste raw egg to check your seasoning. So what do? Is we use our other senses, such as sight and smell. And that smells really good. You should have a nice, even smell when it comes to your seasonings. It shouldn't be overpowering. Always remember, it's much easier to add a little more in than it is to take it out. But yeah, it smells pretty good. So I'm pretty confident in where we're at there. And there we go. All right. So now we've got basically everything ready to go. In addition to our egg mixture that we just whipped up, and our pepper, tomato, parsley salad. We're not starting the salad debate today. Ready to go here as well. We do have some beautiful cheese that we're going to be using, some shredded cheese, freshly shredded, and some homemade pesto, right? There's only so many hours in a day, so we've got that all prepped up and ready to go here. Let's go ahead now. I'm actually going to take this cutting board because we do have some parsley and such resting on it. And I don't want that on the bottom of my tray to go into the oven and then burn underneath there and all that jazzy goodness. There we go. It's like Jaws with the bagels coming up. There we go. We've got our beautiful bagel boats. Let's flip that over to the big camera. There we go. Welcome to Bagelville, population, you and me. Now we've got our fresh pesto here. Very easy to whip up a pesto, olive oil, basil, pine nuts, Parmesan cheese, a little salt in there, and you're off to the races, right?
One quick thing before you start
and a
doing
little
that,
lemon. Yeah.
For anybody new that's joined us, could you just lift up one of those bagels so you can
Yeah, if you missed us, we just took a melon baller, which we have right here, to score the edge of the bagel, just to have a quick review. I'll lift that up. There you can see we have hollowed out the interior of these bagels and pressed the edges in the center to create a beautiful little boat-type vessel. Thank you, Jen, for that reminder. All those ingredients for a pesto, just go into a bullet blender or a regular blender, food processor, whip them up. And pine nuts, I will tell you, we've done this many times and we've done it on air too. Pine nuts are very expensive for a little tiny jar of them, right? So if you're looking for a substitution, you want to make a more cost-effective one. We've substituted in parsley to go along with the basil to reduce the basil amount, up the parsley intake. Works quite delicious. Also, experiment with nuts. We've used walnuts before, for example.
As well.
And cashews. Yes, I love cashews. And we've done that instead of using pine nuts. So just, pardon the pun, but food for thought. Okay, so we've got some beautiful pesto here, and we're going to line the interior. And I'm just going to put a dollop of pesto into each one. Just like so. And then we will take the back of our spoon. And if you want to just get in there with your paws and play with your food and you're at home, by all means, right? I'm not here to judge you. I'm just here to show you how to up your flavor game. But we're just going to take our spoon and get a nice light coating, right, all the way around the interior of said bagel. This one's a little bit thinner here, as you can see, that pesto. If you got too much, just spoon it back out, put it into another one, and separate equally among as many bagels as you are boating, okay?
Boating is a verb.
Boating is a verb. I will often conjutate and verbitate words.
What did you say? Inverbitate?
Yeah.
What is that?
When I make a word a verb. I done verbitated it. That's Montana wisdom, which comes free with your Kittch membership.
Oh my gosh.
We just increased the value of Kittch membership right there through verbitation.
No, not a word. Not a word.
Why can't I coin words? What is wrong with
I think we need a buzzer. Every time you say a word that's not a word, you could get buzzed.
We could probably...
I mean, somebody likes that idea.
That's the
or maybe they like
current
your new
buzzer
words.
right there. All right, and we're just going to spoon that pesto in, making quick work of this. We could actually get a Jen buzzer probably on the stream deck.
I would enjoy that.
I know you would, and then we'd end up having to probably take it away from you.
Probably. Probably.
Okay, there we go, all the way around, nice and easy. Okay, we've got a nice...
Can you hold one up to the camera? It just looks so good when you show up close.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love nothing more. There we go.
There you can see all the goodies in that
all
pesto.
The goodies.
See the chunks
all the good is now. All the good is now. All the good is now. I'll put my bagel up. Here we go. Now we're going to take our mixture right here. Remember, grape tomatoes. We used about 5 of those. Quarter of a red bell pepper. You can use green bell, yellow bell. If you want to mix up your color scheme a little bit, it's all the same type of pepper. And then, of course, Italian flat leaf parsley. And this, we're going to do the same sort of process. That's a big chunk there, so I'm going to reserve that. And I'm just going to spoon it in here, distributing evenly amongst our bagel boats. And this is going to be a little bit easier if I just do put it on each side of said bagel. And I'm just going to get in here and spread this out just like so. Keeping a concerted effort, right? That they get a nice little bite of tomato and pepper and every bite of their bagel boat. Okay, so we're just going to spread that out. That is a big chunk there. That one is not going in there. That's too big, not consistent enough. You did not pass the check. Okay, there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Now we're moving on to cheese. And what kind of cheese are we using today, Kansas City Jen? Another customizable feature of said recipe.
Gruyere and Swiss and some Monterey Jack. We kind of mixed 3 different ones that we like. But you could use cheddar. You can use whatever you like. Pepper jack.
You can use whatever you like. Go. Need just a little bit more in that guy. There we go. All right. There we go. Now let's go ahead and add cheese. Add cheese. We're going to just get a nice little coating of cheese all the way around.
And if you want to learn how to smoke cheese, Max is really good at smoking cheese.
Yes, smoking cheese. So easy to do. You don't even need to own a smoker to do it. Perhaps we should do an episode on that. We've got a cold stretch coming up.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And we could actually do a light, easy tutorial on cheese smoking. We've had that requested before, so
we haven't had a lot of super cold weather.
You need a nice cold day for optimal results. It can be done when it's more temperate out, but it poses a slightly more challenge to it. But it's not impossible. All right, and we've got a little bit of cheese there. We can always add a little bit more extra cheese. And there is our beautiful seasoned egg mixture. I'm just going to make sure that we've got all that in case, while we've been chatting and hanging out, having a good time here on Kittch. If anything settled down, we want to make sure that all those Italian herbs are spread evenly. Now, if you want a smaller, more easy thing to pour, you could use like a Pyrex measuring cup. That'd be a little bit smaller. Anything with a spout, though, is going to help.
There's one in the drawer if you prefer that.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. We're going to Bagel Town.
Okay.
And we want just a nice light drizzle here. And it can get away from you real quick. So just take your time. See right there, it just poured right out. But that's not the end of the world. If you spill a little bit, just wipe it off the pan. If it's just a tiny bit, don't worry about it too much. Oven preheated to 375 degrees for this recipe. You can also throw these out. See right there, I got talking and I got spilling. You can also throw these out on your smoker very easily. Same thing if you're using like a pellet grill, for example, 375 for the deck oven to do the exact same thing.
You think we could also do this over a campfire? How do you think that would go?
You could, but you would have to foil to get the nice cover on top.
Yeah.
Much like a frittata. So you could do it. It's possible to do it campfire cooking style. I mean, really anything's possible if you have a little ingenuity to it. You just want to make sure you use a vessel and temperature control with an open fire, of course, is going to be critical as well. So you can get your fire way too hot, and you would obviously, like I said, need you'd want to cover it. The convection style cooking of an oven or a pellet grill lends itself very nicely to this type of recipe, and you don't need to have any additional foil to get that nice cooking all the way around. Okay, we want to use all this egg mixture. As you can see, it's absorbing. And if you just take your time, it'll soak it up into a little bit of the bagel there and make sure we get all that goodness, fill it up.
And bagels work super well with this just because they're crust. It's going to keep everything really nice.
Okay, there we go.
Without it going all the way through.
Now, this is the point where if you have any additional cheese and you want to add a little bit more cheese on top, we're going to go ahead and just dress those up edge to edge, make it look real nice. Just like so. And we've got bagel boats, kids. All right. Bam. Lovely. Let's bring it back. How easy was that? How easy is that?
Super easy.
Super easy. Super easy indeed. We're going to pop these into the oven here, and I'm going to get my hot pad out because we're going full Martha Stewart on you today with the beauty of television magic. Let's go ahead and get a trivet out here. Let's pop these in on the middle rack. Woohoo! And just so happens, look at that. Cook time on these about 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Beautiful.
Beautiful bagels. Let me get another mitt on because that pan is warm, right? Hey, Jen, pass me an oven mitt. Whoop. See what I did there?
Ooh, let's see them up close.
Look at that. Beautiful bagel boats right there.
Those look good.
Oh, and these smell absolutely fantastic.
It only took 20 minutes in the oven.
20 minutes. Yum, yum. That's it. How easy breezy is that? Let's see if we can get that. All right. You ready for a gratuitous close-up here, kids?
Taste test.
Ooh, look at that. Cheesy, eggy, deliciousy goodness.
There you go.
Yes, and we are going to taste test here. So let's go ahead and grab a little plate out. Now, if you want to spice these up, right, easy way to do that is you can put a little sriracha on them, you know, sriracha eggs, or a little ketchup. People like ketchup with eggs, but I wouldn't use plain old boring ketchup. I would use Montana Max's Rocky Mountain Kickin' ketchup, for example, if you wanted to add a little spice and ketchupy goodness to your eggs. Now, look at this. Look at this. And we're going to take one, and they got some body to them. You know, they got some body, which is nice. It'll fill you up, get you going for your day. And we're just going to plate them right like that, lean one on the other. And then once again, remember, I got a little bit of that fresh green, which is awesome. To come back in, we can sprinkle some fresh parsley on there. I got some stems there. I'm just going to reach over. Excuse my rudeness. And that's it right there. Like I said, you're welcome to use some sort of hot sauce drizzle, anything of that nature. Let's go ahead. Right there's about perfect. Look at that. Look at that. Should we cut into one? Yay! Let's see.
That looks yummy. I love to taste this.
Let's cut into one and show you the
Taste.
interior here. Montana Mac's going to go ahead here and grab, courtesy of Montana. Oh, look at that. Even my cutting boards are themed. So we're going to grab our nice little Montana cutting board here. Let's go ahead and take that over. And this will be the Jen plate because it's super pretty. We'll take one of these bagels right here. There we go. And let's slice. Serrated blade. Look at that right through there. Everything is cooked through all the way. Beautiful bagel boat. Rock and roll. Jen, come on out. You're the next contestant on Is the Taste is Right.
It smells good, so I've been waiting.
There she is, ladies and gentlemen. A big round of applause for the love of my life, Miss Kansas City Jen.
Okay, I'm going to just go for this.
Well, we can do this
together
at the same time, together.
Cheers.
Cheers. Mmm.
Mmm. Oh. Mmm.
Awesome.
I love it with the fresh pesto.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really makes this awesome.
That pesto is a game changer. What a great base to build upon, right?
Chewy, soft with a little crunch on the edge. Good. Very good.
Absolutely wonderful.
Love this.
Easy to do. You can do it at home. And that's going to do it for Bagel Boats.
Awesome.
Once again, thank you for joining us here on Kittch.com. We've got shows coming up all week. Make sure you follow us. Click that follow button. Check out, click the Save My Spot so you never miss one of our tasty episodes that we've got rocking and rolling here. I am Montana Max. This is Kansas City Jen. And as always, for those about to cook,
we salute you.
We sure do. Have a great day and take care of each other. Bye.
See you soon.
These are really good.